Hello Internet, I'm Alex from Barefaced. This is James, he's new here. So I find myself in this strange situation of having to talk to you about someone else playing, so I've put a bass on to make me feel less scared. Yeah, it's fine with the bass on, I can take you all on. Right, so James has his trusty deluxe reverb Fender combo, and we have here this. Now this, if you're au fait with Barefaced stuff, you may think, oh, it's a 210. It's not a 210. This is actually our wide Reformer 112W. So it's a 112 guitar cab, but it's the same size as our 210 guitar cab. It also looks very similar to our 210 bass cab. Basically, if your head is too wide, when I say your head, I mean your amp head, is too wide for a standard Reformer, and you want something that's a bit more aesthetically pleasing with ways, we have this one which is a little less tall and wider, so it's similar internal volume, tunes fractionally lower, but I think you'd struggle to tell the difference between the two sonically. So yeah, and this wide Reformer has in it, if this cable's long enough, no, you can't really see it, well, can you see that? Maybe, maybe not, tell me if you can. That's a Hempback. So that arrived here last week. I think we've been waiting for the Hempback since the start of the pandemic, so supply chain issues definitely hit that speaker. It's a 50 watt rated speaker. It's got this cone that's made of some amount of hemp, who knows what. I don't know if you can smoke it. It may smoke if you put more than 50 watts into it. And it's a medium weight magnet, so it is one of the less loud, but I mean all guitar speakers are loud, but it's not as loud as say a V30 or a Cream or a Blue, though it handles a lot more power than a Blue. But yeah, it's Fender suggests it as being suitable to go in, Celestion suggests it's suitable for going in Fender style, American style amps like the Deluxe Reverb, so conveniently James has one. We brought it in and he's going to play some guitar. He's got a little pedal board down here of stuff, but I'm going to try to not talk too much and let him do some of this guitaring. Now, we are currently going through... Do you want to go through the Hempback first, or the...
Yeah, we could do. I mean, maybe it'd be good to start with the stock, and
so,
then we can hear the difference.
So start with the stock Fender speaker.
Fender,
yeah, let's go
yes.
with the stock Fender. So, the Fender has a Jensen label speaker, probably made in Italy, so I think it's made by Seeker. I think they bought the Jensen brand name, but that's a Jensen speaker nowadays. Right. I don't know a lot about Jensen speakers, but yeah, do things.
Right. So this is the humbucker tone.
Right, so shall we switch over to the
Hempback
sure. in this Reformer wide version?
All right.
So that's humbucker.
Yeah, these are both humbuckers. Yeah.
What is this guitar?
So this is an Ibanez. I'm not sure the model, but yeah, like an Artcore Ibanez hollow body. It's kind of, I think the popular ones are like the John Scofield model, and this is kind of similar but different.
Okay.
And
so
I haven't seen any
jazz fusion with it.
Yes, exactly. Not that that is 100% my thing. But.
And then what you that's no pedals?
So all I've got on here at the moment is a very, very slight slapback.
Right.
And that is it. The reverb is coming right from the amp. It's a bit of a like longer reverb tail than you get on some of the Fender amps I've noticed.
Right.
But that's the only.
Just so you know, for miking this, I decided for 2 reasons. One, laziness, and also, when I say lazy, we've just got a lot of stuff to do because we are the people who make the stuff. I mean, it's not just the 2 of us, there's a team in the factory, but it's not a very big team, so we are a significant percentage of it who are not building the things we sell right now. So we don't have like a video team and an editing team and stuff like that. So the editing team involves me saying, well, just me pressing the button at the right places to start it and stop it, and that's editing. So we are going through a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which is on top of the camera. So everything you're hearing is from quite a big mic with wide response. It's quite accurate. It's on top of the camera because that makes editing 1,000 times easier because it's all just done all in one go. But also, it's giving you quite an honest room sound. And we could close mic them, but then are you really hearing what the cab sounds like in the real world, or are you just hearing how it sounds in the recording studio, and how relevant is that? Because you can always get a good sound in a recording studio. The challenge is actually to get that good sound in a rehearsal room so the band happens, and then on stage so the band happens, and just get that vibey sort of thing. So what should we do next?
So have we've gone through the 3 of them?
We've done
Oh yes.
the stock speaker in the Fender, and then the Hempback. And yeah, should we go through? So this is our default Barefaced speaker. So this is a reformer, normal width, not the wide one, and it's got a V30 in, so a very different vibe of speaker.
So this is the standard like reformer.
Yes.
Right, so just for context.
That's louder, isn't it? It's definitely louder.
That is louder, yeah, for sure. It's yeah, pops a little more dynamically. I think just because of the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do some single coil.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
see where we're at on the time thing. Yeah, we're good for time.
cool. Sure.
V30.
All right.
Back on the Hempback now. Back from Fender to Hempback.
I'll switch back to humbucker.
Interesting. So what I'm wondering, I've not heard these before. We had a little jam earlier with me noodling on bass, but I was playing bass and was ignoring him. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the speaker in this Fender, this Jensen, is louder than this Hempback, isn't it? It's a bit more efficient.
Yeah.
But loudness doesn't really matter with guitar stuff, does it? It's always loud enough. I know this, I'm a bassist. I've been on the wrong end of it all the time. This seems less muddy, the Hempback. It seems to have more openness, and when you play a chord there's less low mid thickness.
Yeah, and I think because of that it really shines on the single coil kind of sound.
Yeah. This is more in your face and louder.
Yeah.
Very clear.
It is very clear,
but not as pretty sounding as this. But it's not really... I guess if someone were emailing me saying what speaker should I get for this sort of playing, I wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, just have the stock speaker, the V30. We've got the V30 as the stock choice because it works for a lot of different stuff well, and it's loud, it's got a lot of power handling, so it's kind of... It's always workable. It's not always the nicest sound, but it's always workable, and it's a great sound in a lot of context. It's not really the obvious thing for this context. Saying that, I'm now... Where are we for time? 12 minutes. It's always that question of how much rambling and whittling and stuff can you cope with? Should we play some more stuff?
Yeah, we can do, absolutely.
What do you think effects-wise is sort of tonally suited?
Well, I think something I've noticed is the effect that the kind of clarity of the Hempback has on the reverb is really interesting. So if I just even boost up the reverb on the amp, just to hear the difference between the two. So what are we on here?
We're on the Hempback now.
Yeah, right. So...
Very interesting. I'm just going to interrupt you. So obviously we're not directly comparing this Jensen speaker with this Hempback in kind of a fair way, because the Jensen speaker's in this open back combo, which like most combos has a randomly sized hole in the back of it. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre how open back combos are made, but I guess someone went, I've built an amp, I want to fit the speaker in a box too, and that'll do. So our cabs, I'll turn this one around so you can see it, are different. If you're new here, actually had the patent granted on this a few months ago, so it's been sort of patent pending for a long time. You know, like a PAF patent applied for, but no, we call it patent pending, so it doesn't end up the cool name of a set of pickups. But what's going on here, this is our AVD, where we've got a slot that lets mid and high frequencies through. They get diffracted by the slot. This horn-like structure then gives extra gain to help couple it with the sound in the room. So it spreads the sound out laterally. I mean, it goes up and down as well, but we're trying to focus on lateral dispersion because our ears are all kind of at about the same height. Then that goes out, and that spreads around the room, bounces off many things, and gets back to our ears. And because of the way the human ear works, if the sound coming off the back and reflecting off the walls is similar enough to the sound coming off the front, it just adds it all together, because it hears the sound off the front, which is the first sound to reach us, and then that joins the sounds coming off the back go with it to sort of add to it, to add clarity, but there isn't the mud because your brain does this clever processing of sort of sticking it all together. So it's one of those things that's very effective in the room and very hard to demonstrate via a microphone. It's an odd thing, but it works in the room. Mm-hmm. You haven't gigged with one yet,
not with a Barefaced cab. Not even with like a V30, actually. No.
So that's going to be interesting.
I'm really looking forward to doing something with that. Yeah.
Have you rehearsed through one?
Yes, I have. I actually rehearsed through the creamback.
Right. Was that the Alnico cream or the creamback?
It was I think it was the Alnico.
The Alnico cream.
That was
Yeah.
in here.
That's kind of
and I used the tweaker up there.
Yeah, that's an Egnator amp up there. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, because I noticed as I was moving around the room, the Fender's varying more in the room. Now, obviously, you're not hearing that because the mic's up there on top of the camera. And then when I got behind, I was like, yeah, you can hear when you're behind the sound coming out of the speaker sounds like the sound you get if you shout into an empty cupboard, essentially. You know, there's that sound of being in a wooden box, and it's the sound of sounding waves in a wooden box, and you don't get that off the sound of the back sound that's coming off the back of this. You just get basically the sound of the speaker, because although it's a wooden box, it's not a cuboid shaped wooden box. It's broken up by the AVD, and then it's encouraging sound to come out in an organised way, and also it's doing a thing at low frequencies. But we should probably do a video where I explain this to James, because he's new here.
Yeah, I'm soaking all up.
I don't know, I can't imagine you've watched all my videos. You've got better things to do.
I searched through every single one.
Totally convinced. Anyway, thank you. That has been the Hempback. We have a massive shelf full of speakers in the factory. Lots and lots of different Celestion speakers. We have lots of cabs. I mean, some of these cabs are literally coming off the end of the production line, arriving in quality control, and then we're sort of stealing them to do a demo with, and then putting them in a box and sending them to a customer. So it's not like we have tons of cabs, but we have tons of speakers waiting to go in cabs, and we can basically let you hear what you want. And on the guitarist front, we have quite a few different guitarists here. So how would you describe yourself stylistically as a guitarist? Where are you?
I'm in the folk Americana kind of realm, like as a guitarist typically.
Yeah, anything like that. We have this man, and then we have people who play noisier stuff, jazzier stuff, weirder stuff. We don't have any full-on metalers here, unfortunately. But if you live in Brighton and fancy popping in during your lunch hour to make some metal demos, please do let us know, because I don't seem to have the time to organise anything at any other time. But if it's during the working day, come in and do some shredding and chugging.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a metally sort of bassist, but I don't play with a pick, otherwise I'd sort of fake it at rhythm guitar. Anyway, I'll stop talking before we go over the 20-minute mark. So thank you. We will be back. That was the Hempback. What a nice little speaker. Yeah. Well done, Celestion. Worth waiting for. See you next time.